So I thought I'd start my video in an area where you would most likely find black-legged tick habitat. Their habitat includes low-lying dense vegetation. So as you all know, the black-legged tick or deer tick can carry Lyme disease. And you obviously don't want Lyme disease, so you obviously don't want it on you. This area is located right at the edge of the Ruger Woods Trail System. It's adjacent to the baseball field, so it's not too far from campus. So what I'm going to do now is actually try to collect ticks from this area using a method of just pulling a flannel blanket along the ground. And I'm hoping to demonstrate how easy it is to acquire a tick when you're out in these sort of areas. So now I'll go see if I can find some ticks. Hopefully it'll work. Alright, so I'm back, and it's only been a few minutes, but I actually managed to collect quite a few ticks. They're right in here, crawling all around, pretty gross. So let's have a closer look at them. So there's one right there. Nice adult black-legged tick. And you can see there's more in the background. Pretty gross. So let's see if we can get a closer look at them. There they are. We got an adult tick on the right and a nymph tick on the left. Nymph ticks are more prevalent this time of year than adult ticks. There's really no way of telling if these ticks have Lyme disease or not. So right now they are crawling around looking for hosts. They feed off the blood of their hosts. The nymphal ticks have just overwintered after feeding as larvae and molting into nymphs. Each host they feed on either poses the risk of acquiring the Lyme disease bacteria or transmitting it, if the tick already has it, to a new host. So adult ticks are looking for a host to mate with other ticks and produce eggs for the fall. Ticks embed their mouthparts into the flesh of their hosts where they feed, and the bacteria of the Lyme disease will migrate from the ticks to the gut to the host's bloodstream. Common hosts include rodents, most commonly the white-footed mouse, which is very common and abundant. Other hosts are generally all mammals, but sometimes birds and reptiles. Deer are also common hosts for the adult tick for mating and reproduction, but deer actually do not serve as a carrier of Lyme disease, so ticks cannot get Lyme disease from deer. Certain hosts serve as ecological traps for ticks, therefore lowering the prevalence of Lyme disease. These animals might kill ticks by eating or picking them off themselves. Also, high biodiversity acts as a filter for ticks, lowering the abundance of ticks and therefore Lyme disease. So the amount of animals in a system will actually act as a filter, and along with predator-prey interactions to reduce the prevalence of Lyme disease. So if you do find a tick on you and it has bitten you, the first symptom is the bullseye rash called erythema migrans. This is the only non-clinical diagnosis, but sometimes it won't show up. So you should see a doctor either way if you get bit by a tick. So once you have Lyme disease, you do have it for life, and there are no reversing treatments. There are just antibiotics that you can get to combat the symptoms. So when you're out and about in the North Country, just be aware that ticks might carry Lyme disease and are abundant in the vegetation. You should take obvious precautions such as wearing long sleeves and long pants, as well as checking yourself and your pets after being outdoors. So I guess my take-home message here is just to be aware when you're outside, for Plattsburgh State students and just people of the North Country. When you're outdoors, just take the proper precautionary measures because ticks are abundant and they will only get worse as climate warms and kind of gets warmer in the North Country.